Hello, fellow geeks. It's Geeks at the Movies. It's a short. We're doing Shane Reads. And what am I reading today? I have been reading the All-Star Superman. You know the deal by now. The Jacob gave me the All-Star Superman. I had to read it. And now it's time for me to tell you my thoughts about it. Jacob, before I tell you my thoughts about it, this was a little different from the other comics you gave to me. Why did you choose to give me this?
Because you were complaining that all the DC stuff I was giving you was dark and depressing. And this is a Superman story. In the comics, Superman is a very lighthearted. It's like very non-Gotham stuff. It's Metropolis, all sunny and bright and everything. So I was like, this is a good story, I think, to give to Shane to show him the other side of DC.
All right, then. So let me tell you my thoughts on All-Star Superman. I thought it was fucking awesome. This is by far the best comic book I have ever read. This embraced, this is what I've been waiting for. I always talk about internal consistency. You could have any crazy universe you want, as long as it makes sense within the universe. So in this universe, they embrace all the wackiness. They don't try to make some parts kind of like the real world, some parts kind of comic book. You know, it's all this ridiculous, it makes no sense. But it makes sense within the universe. I love it. It's just so completely outrageous. From these bizarro creatures.
God. That whole bizarro thing was so weird.
Where Superman has to speak in the opposite of what he wants to do. To Lex Luthor being this crazy dude. To I love Clark Kent. He's just so ridiculous. He's this bumbling idiot who's saving lives. Every time he's falling and twisting and doing something, he's actually saving somebody's life. They just don't even realize it. Yeah. And he's covering it up. It's just so hilarious. And they embrace the weirdness. Everything is just bizarre. Everything is weird. He has to fight this like sun with a mouth, and then there's like this flying squid monster that has to attack the sun. You have to read this, folks, because it just me trying to explain it. Can you explain this at all?
No. Okay, so I'm actually really surprised that you like this so much, because this was even weird for me. This was weird. This is one of the weirdest comic books I've ever read in my entire life.
It embraces what it is.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I like about it. There's no mixed tones in it. It's
that's
always
true.
the same tone, and it's always the same kind of silliness.
Yeah. It's like this guy's wearing his underwear on the outside. It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes exactly. It makes sense in this bizarre universe. They have Jimmy Olsen cross-dressing at some point.
and they
it makes sense.
And there's this really cool thing where they go into how they design the characters in the back. Did you read that?
Yes.
And it talks about why they had that scene with Jimmy Olsen cross-dressing and stuff like that. So that's all really interesting.
And that's where they talk about how they try to differentiate Clark and Superman. They just made him stand differently. Like it was neat the way they did it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, how can you hide? Because it's the joke, right? It's obvious Clark Kent and Superman.
Yeah, the shows are right there. Like he's slouching over. It looks like
he's slouching. He looks a little fat.
Yeah.
I mean,
he looks fat instead of muscular.
Right. So he's a big, clumsy farm boy who's used to open spaces, right? And he plays into that. I can't recommend this enough. I mean, I guess the overall storyline is at the very beginning, Superman has to save some people that are in the sun. Somehow his cells absorb too much solar energy, and now he's dying, and he has to complete these feats of strength. And there's because it's broken up into like 10 sections. Maybe these were originally 10 comic books, like individual comic books. And each one, there's a little story arc. He has to like fight the Bizarros, which are really bizarre. I can't even explain it.
Yeah, that was the weirdest part for me when that random Bizarro planet just showed up out of nowhere. And like I was like, why is Earth square? What's going on here?
It doesn't make any sense.
and yeah, that whole.
And then there's Bizarro Superman who just did everything backwards. It was like, what?
Yeah. So like this is another thing. This is another alternate, different look at Superman type thing. But they added so much weird stuff. Like right here, they made Jimmy Olsen Doomsday. That was so weird. They made Jimmy Olsen Doomsday. They had the whole Bizarro planet thing. They had these weird guys, the Greek gods.
Where he's arm wrestling them for Lois's hand. I don't even know what's going on here.
That was actually kind of funny because he's doing both. He's using both hands at once, and then he just.
And that's another thing. They embrace Superman as a god.
Yeah.
He is so outrageously powerful. Things he does here are just so over the top. Like no one can touch him. He's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, he is the Superman that you think of when you think of
Yeah.
Superman.
He has new powers. They give him more powers.
Yeah, he went to the sun and got more powers.
Yeah, he got more powers.
Like he went to the source of his power, and so he got even stronger.
Yeah.
So but the flip side is it's also killing him.
Yes.
It's so that's really interesting. Really, and then this is one of my favorite parts. When the new Kryptonian showed up.
Where they came from,
Yeah.
who knows?
Who knows?
But it's comic books, so just random shit happens, and it makes sense in this comic book.
Yeah, and then there was a whole thing where he has Krypton in a jar.
Sure, why not? And then he had the miniature Superman that were like trying to heal his cells. Yeah. They were the size of germs, and they were flying into his cells.
Yeah.
And then eventually he has them cure little kids' cancer.
Yeah.
It's just so bizarre, folks. It's very difficult for me to encapsulate what this story is about and to explain this.
Yeah, this is the first time we've been like really agreed on how awesome a comic book is.
Yeah, it is. The Jacob, I want you to give me more of this because I have a hard time with some of these comic books you give me because they just feel so weird. It's like embrace what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't like the mixed tones. Remember, we talked about this movie called Excalibur. And one of the problems with Excalibur was the wildly mixed tones.
Yeah.
It was serious at some points. At some points, it was just silly and cheesy. At some points, it was just bizarre and didn't really make any sense what was happening. You can have movies that have different tones. You can have series that have different tones. I mean, we know about the comedy drama, the dramedy, like American Beauty, where there's... But even then, it's not as much as a mixed tone. The tones go together.
Yeah.
But you can have these clashing tones. And this just has this silly, goofy, irreverent tone throughout the whole comic book. Superman is a god. He does ridiculous things. The characters are all wearing everyone wears ridiculous costumes. Even the humans are dressed outrageously half the time.
Yeah.
You know, like Jimmy Olsen, cross-dressing. It doesn't matter. It is what it is, and they embrace it.
I love the part with the key. Where he's the only one that can pick up the key, and then those other Kryptonians show up, and he's like, "How'd you get in? You shouldn't have left the key laying around."
Yeah, you shouldn't have the key laying around. Because Lois Lane's like, well, you just have the key laying there. It's like, yeah, but it weighs like 56 like gigatons or something. It's like, I'm the one that can pick it up in the world until the other Kryptonians come along, and they just pick up the key, and they just go into Superman's lair.
Yeah.
And they start just messing with it. It's like, oh, well, this shouldn't be here. So overall, I am going to say, if you like comic books, read the All-Star Superman. The Jacob did a good job.
Yeah.
I give you an A for awesome for recommending this, the Jacob.
This is a pure Superman story.
Pure Superman story.
This is what Superman is, that's what I liked about it. Like you said, it embraces itself.
Embrace it. So what is up next for me? What's up next?
All right, next we got it right behind us here.
It's right behind us here.
Another X-Men comic.
Oh no, is it scary? I'm scared. It's not that thick. Excellent.
Yeah. Quick. It's a really quick read. It's God.
Make my job easy.
Yeah. God loves, man kills.
All right then. So stay tuned, Geeks viewers, for God loves, man kills. But this has been Geeks at the Movies.